Alright, back then I've touched on the Urusei Yatsura OVA series. Now it's time to take a look at the 6 theatrical movies. Let us begin. We'll start with Only You. The film opens with 2 children known as Ataru and an alien girl playing a game called Shadow Tag, and whoever steps on her shadow, she tells Ataru that it is a marriage proposal on her planet. Now, 11 years later, everyone is being invited to Ataru's wedding, and the woman he's getting married to is Elda Rosenbach. Who is she, you ask? Well, duh, another alien princess who has returned to Earth to marry Moriboshi. This is the first time Ben 10, Oyuki, Ran, and Karama appeared in this film. Yes, there's also the Cosmic Cycler song during the scene where the Urusei Yatsura gang are in space. Then there's a scene where L has kept an enormous amount of pretty boys in jumpsuits, all frozen. Reminds me of the carbon freeze chamber from Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back. I guess she must have been a fan of that movie and got the idea. The movie itself focuses on Lum, who is preventing Ataru from marrying L, and it was directed by Mamoru Oshii, who also worked on the first half of the anime TV series. It's a great movie, plus it's one of Rumiko Takahashi's favorite films, and the most true to the original series. Next you got Beautiful Dreamer, which is in fact one of the best movies in the series, and well loved by English-speaking fans. It's also the only one being licensed by US Manga Corps, not Animego, where the students are preparing the Student Fair Festival, complete with references of Godzilla, Gamera, Ultraman, and other Japanese kaijus. Unfortunately, things aren't normal in Tomobiki when they discover that reality is acting pretty weird, and the one who is responsible for this is the demon Mujaki. Ryunosuke for the first time appeared in this movie, but not seen a lot. The animation is a lot better from the previous film, and the soundtrack is amazing, especially my favorite music is this. Totally loving that music. There is one scene that was rather familiar where Ataru must touch Lum's horns before the invasion of Earth. That seems like a throwback to the first episode of the show. Thought I'd throw that in. Now, I do have a history on this film. I remember seeing this back in the mid-1990s on the Sci-Fi Channel, including the first film both dubbed in English. And I did see Beautiful Dreamer the second time in 1998, and the voice acting in English is just awful. And I know that Ataru was done by Wayne Grayson, aka Joey Wheeler in 2003 Michelangelo. This was the last film to be directed by Mamoru Oshii, and he quit the production of Urusei Yatsura and worked on other projects like one of the Pat Labor films. Moving on to the third film, Remember My Love, where Ataru got turned into a pink hippopotamus by a magician who belongs on Sailor Moon, but it turns out this Tuxedo Cameron lookalike is none other than Ru, who happens to be Lum's descendants. It also shows Ataru's true feelings for Lum, especially the scene when they were both crying. While the first 2 were done by Studio Pierrot and directed by, again, Mamoru Oshii, Movie 3 was done by Studio Dean and directed by Kazuo Yamazaki, who directed half of the series. It may not be as great as the previous 2, but it's still pretty good. Movie 4, Lum the Forever. The Urusei Yatsura gang are making a movie. However, the plot involves a cherry tree called the Great Tower Sakura. When it gets cut down, Lum not only loses her powers, but her horns as well. Then the rest of the film begins to act really strange. When I first saw this, I was like, what did I just watch? It's like one of those, what the hell is going on type of movies. By the way, the mask the characters are wearing reminds me of Ewoks. It's like I got Star Wars on the brain.
Have been swamped with the angry voices of more and more citizens who have fallen prey to the recent surge of crime that continues to plague the city.
Overall, it's one of the strangest Urusei Yatsura films and the hardest to understand. There's also the 45-minute documentary on the making of the fourth film. I've seen it on YouTube. It's a really good documentary showing us how they've made it, and we do see Fumi Hirano, Toshio Furukawa, and the rest of the voice cast. When the anime TV series ended, 2 more films were being produced. Here's the final chapter, meaning it is the conclusion of the series. It's also the most faithful of Takahashi's story from the original manga. Inaba from the OVA series appears in this movie for the first time. You'll notice the animation is done by Magic Bus, plus the design of the characters still have Miss Rumiko's art style, and it was directed by legendary Satoshi Dazaki. Now about the plot. Well, they want to repeat the tag game from episode 1 of the television series, otherwise the Mushroom Kingdom will be coming to Earth. Why do I get the feeling I want to play Super Mario Bros. All of a sudden? Looking at those pigs kinda look like Ryoga's pig form, and that Carla, this somewhat Usagi Tsukino clone, is voiced by Yu Inoue, who did Ran one time, and Rando from Yu Yu Hakusho. Now, in order for Ataru to win, all he has to say, even though in the entire series he's too stubborn to say it. Just say I love you for Koenma's sake, Moriboshi! That's all you need to say! All in all, it's another great film next to Only You, and a really good way to close out one of my favorite anime series of the 80s. And finally, Movie 6, Always My Darling, or Forever My Darling, where yet another alien princess named Lupika, who I find her very cute, aww, captures Ataru to obtain a love potion at a temple located on a planet. Yeah, that's what the plot is. Lame. The 6th Urusei Yatsura film is directed by Katsuhisa Yamada and done by Madhouse. The character designs do remind me of a certain animation style from Sailor Moon, as if Masahiro Ando was involved. A lot of fans say that this is the real closure. Actually, it served as the 10th anniversary special. I forgot to mention that there are characters from the TV, OVA, and the first 5 movies appearing as cameos. That's pretty cool, especially if you look back at movies 1 through 5, you'll see a ton of characters that are quite familiar. Oh, and Maurice from Maurice the Choja was seen in Ataru's fantasy harem from Remember My Love. And to your right, you'll see Ranma Sawatome, minus the pigtail. He kinda looks a bit like Ranma though, does he? There is one part where Lum drinks red berries that makes her drunk. Wait, do I know an anime film that has a character getting drunk just by eating a fruit?
Yummy! That was good!
Children mustn't eat those. 'Cause they see things.
In conclusion, this is one of the worst films referred by fans. And you know what? I sorta liked it. I love the art and animation. It does have action and such, so this one's not that bad. Well folks, this concludes my Urusei Yatsura related reviews. So you could say it's a 3-parter on my favorite 80s anime. And to top that off, this ends episode 99 and we are getting close to the 100th episode. So until then, in the words of Darkscream217, this is Lord Byakko, signing out.